Going over to the political part podcast of Kamala Harris saying she chose to actually not choose Pete Buttigieg for her vice president because he's gay, or she insinuates it. Now, brought to us thanks to Andy No, one of the best reporters out there, and he says, "quote Kamala Harris tells Rachel Maddow she didn't want a gay man as a running mate because it would be political baggage. I wonder how many of the gays who endorsed her feel now."
Did President?
I'm sorry, I should put a visual disclaimer on the screen. You're going to see Rachel Maddow, which, or wait a minute, is that Michael Knowles? Maybe.
To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay is hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that
Always those same football-sized earrings on her dumb head. Which again, a couple people did do some sleuthing on the internet, and there's some technology, with Bluetooth and everything, that allows you to hear things with earrings. I'm just saying you've never seen her without these comically stupid large earrings in public for a couple of years.
I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for President of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor, to be a black woman running for President of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
So she admits he would be a risk.
Matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but
that
we had such a short period of time, and the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant.
He's not.
And I think America is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, and maybe I was being too cautious, I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was.
Yes, friends.
But that's the decision I made, and I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that.
Yeah.
With a great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.
Will you consider running in 2028?
That's not my focus right now.
I know
that's not my focus.
Oh. Yeah. Now, Pete Buttigieg, that'd be a good question for the comments. Who's more of a moron or more incompetent? Tim Walz or Pete Buttigieg? That is a coin flip, maybe? Personally, I think Americans would be turned off by Pete because he's an incompetent moron. He's so useless in terms of his government service. He went 6 months without going to the office or working, and no one realized he was gone. He's also a weirdo who took delivery of his surrogate child in a bed as if he gave birth, and done one of those weird things to chest feed the child. He is weird. But he's also an incompetent moron. He famously brags saying he got the job for transportation because he likes choo-choo trains, which are words I don't think any adult would say unless they're with a child in terms of describing a train. And then when the train derailment came, how many days did it take for him to visit it? For Palestine? How long did it take for him to do anything? Trump got there before anyone. But Pete Buttigieg, again, I think most people would laugh at him derisively because he is the definition of a useless bureaucrat. He's out of the office for 6 months, still getting paid. No one realized he was gone? In the private sector, that is comically ridiculous. And the Democrat Party, in terms of people who are Democrat, I think he probably would have got the same amount of Democrat votes versus Tim Walz, who, I was going to say, Tampon Tim and his visits to China, lying about his service. I mean, letting Minnesota go to hell. Being a conquered state where they actually changed the state flag because it's become so conquered. In terms of Democrats voting, I think he probably got the same, if not more, if she had Pete Buttigieg. Now that I think about it. I mean, they're both terrible, awful picks. They had some perspective folks they could have picked. They're actually competent. There are a couple people on Democrat in the party that could have been, good running mates. But no, they didn't pick anyone intelligent or competent. And they just installed Kamala Harris. No one actually voted for her. And yeah, this is going pretty viral. And again, this credited to Andy No, getting about 250,000 views and 17,000 likes. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to Mrs. B. It says levels of pain, slap, childbirth, kicked in balls, and listening to Kamala Harris being the highest, getting 265 likes. Rock and Roll Meltdown has a meme of Chris Farley and Kamala Harris. Says, remember when you had to drop out of the 2020 race because no one was voting for you? Yeah, that was awesome. Getting 25 likes. Yep. Stop Seattle Democrats 2025 says, quote, wait, what? Instead, the Sound of Music has been photoshopped to say the sound of bullshit. As Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and he's wearing heels. Allegedly photoshopped. I don't know, that might be real. They got 78 likes, which, again, Tim Walz is so unappealing. I mean, yeah, it's almost as if they purposely chose the worst possible candidates. You have Alex Hernandez saying, quote, but she did get a gay man as a running mate anyway. There's a Photoshop box of tampons, and it says Tampon Tim on it, getting 181 likes, which, yeah, imagine being famous for your passion project is to make sure there are tampons in the boys' rooms. And boys are allowed to go in girls' rooms and vice versa. That's Tampon Tim's passion projects or things he's very proud of. Arya Haram has a Steven Crowder meme where he's changed my mind. It says Tim Walz is more gay than Pete Buttigieg, getting 11 likes, which, debatable. You also have For America says she mirrors her mentor. You have a quote from Hillary Clinton in 2005, and she says, quote, look, the average Democrat voter is just plain stupid. They're so easy to manipulate. That's the easy part. And that was Hillary Clinton as told to Dick Morris in Rewriting History 2005, which I guess I should clarify. Hillary Clinton is a very beautiful, intelligent woman. She's not had a disproportionate amount of people around her commit suicide, like 28 plus people. And I don't own any rope. I plan to live a long, healthy life. I just, coincidentally, want to throw that out there, just for the record. You also have James Russell saying, Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion, Tin Man, and No Wizard getting 10 likes. There's a picture of Kamala Harris there. A lot of people making fun of her being allegedly inebriated in the public where she's drunk with alcohol. Little meme with Absolute Vodka on there getting 77 likes. The Truth Seeker says, a breakdown of how the Democrat Party died. You have Barack Obama saying, I need a VP dumber than me. They have Biden saying, I need a VP dumber than me. And you have Kamala Harris saying, I need a VP dumber than me. And Tampon Tim that says, boys need tampons, getting 8 likes, which, what's more awkward, his ideology around tampons and boys' rooms, or his hilarious bluff, or was it buffoonery, during the vice president debate when Tim Walz said famously, I make friends with school shooters, which, unusual thing to say. Let's see. Freedom Liberty says, quote, I think Pothole Pete must be drowning in his sorrows right now at Chippendales, getting 9 likes. Mr. Average has a picture of Rachel Maddow in the boys' room, getting 17 likes. Oh, here we go. There's a creepy picture of Pete Buttigieg. This is apparently tweeted by Pope Leonidas XIV, and he says, quote, she failed again to read the room. There's a picture of Pete Buttigieg with what do you call it, stupid things, a fake breast attached to him, feeding a child, and it says average Democrat, and that picture is juxtapositioned with the picture that says average Republican. You have a guy, obviously the cowboy hat, kissing his wife and having a baby. Getting 32 likes, which, yeah, that sounds about right. Kitty Graham says, and Rachel sits there taking it like a coward, getting 83 likes. Yeah, I mean, they're on the same team. I'm not surprised she's not actually pushing the question further. Ron also says, so she picked a closeted gay guy instead of an openly gay guy. Genius, getting 94 likes. Which again, in terms of all the people you could pick as your running mate, Tim Walz is one of the worst ones. It wasn't even a swing state. That was the weirdest thing. That was like, because of conspiracies and wondering, like, did they purposely have Kamala Harris fail? That's where I almost wonder, like, she picked a loser of a candidate, or someone would say, Kamala Harris is so stupid, she actually found someone dumber than her for the VP. I was shocked. She chose Tampon Tim Walz with no balls. I don't think Trump said that precisely, but something to that effect. Again, she chose a non-swing state VP, and she chose someone that had barely an appeal. You also have, here's a larger picture. Longville Ragatoli says, I know this is fake, but can you imagine the implications? There's Pete Buttigieg sitting there. Now, is that fake? I need to double check that. I mean, they did have the real picture of Pete Buttigieg and his husband holding a child while sitting in a hospital bed insinuating they gave birth, weirdly. But let me know your thoughts, because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.